So I'm going to start by cleansing the brows with a pre-waxed cleanser. You can also use an oil-free makeup remover as well. So I'm going to start by brushing the brows upwards, and you're going to want to use a little bit of pressure so you're exfoliating the brows with the mascara wand. And I'm going to just use a lip wand with some lash lift glue just to remove the hairs upwards and kind of in the direction the client wants it. So you can either move the hair upwards, straight up, or you can kind of move it to the side, depending on the shape of the brow. Now I'll be going back and forth with the mascara wand and the lip brush applicator just so that the hairs go in the direction I want to. And I'm just using the lip applicator just to flatten the surface out, just to give it a better lift application. You want to make sure that the hairs are flat and they're not rising. So it's okay if you add a little bit of pressure, and if you need to add more lift glue as well, you can do that as well. And I'm just going back and forth. So you want to make sure everything that you do with the first brow, you do it to the second brow as soon as you're done with the first brow. It just gives it more of an even application and process time. And in this video and angle, you can see more detail how the lift glue actually stretches the eyebrow hair up and outwards. So with an orange wood stick, I'm applying the lift solution to the center of the eyebrows. You want to start with the center and kind of like move the solution upwards, but you want to have majority of the solution in the center of the brow. If your client has a thicker, more coarser brow, a great tip is after applying the lift solution, you want to use a saran wrap or plastic wrap and place it over the brow. It actually speeds up the brow lamination process, and it also penetrates deeper. Please keep in mind that the lift solution process varies. It varies between 8 to 12 minutes depending on the product and solution that you purchase. So please read the label before applying to any client. And also, if the client has a coarser hair, you're going to want to go longer. And I'm just removing all the brow solution. And now I'm applying the neutralizer onto the brows using the other side of the orange wood stick. And you want to apply it everywhere, and also with a thicker brow for the neutralizer as well. You want to put over a plastic wrap, and also the neutralizer time varies as well between 5 to 7 minutes. So please read the labels. And here I am just removing any of the lift glue around the skin using just a wet Q-tip. And now I'm using a gauze with a pre-wax cleanser and just going around the eyebrows of using a Q-tip. I'm going to remove all the neutralizer solution from both of the brows before I start the tinting application. For the tint application, I'm just applying in upward strokes, just following the natural shape of her eyebrow. If you have a hard time finding someone's natural shape before applying tints, you're just going to want to get an eyebrow pencil and kind of shape out the brow before applying a tint and get the client's approval before applying the tint, just so that they approve on the eyebrow shape that you have decided for them. So for this part of the application, it does not have to be neat and precise. It can be a little bit messy. I'm going to use a dry Q-tip to clean up around the brows, just following the client's natural shape. So after the tinting application, you don't want to remove the tint. We're going to want to wax just following the natural brow shape just to define the brow, and you're going to want to apply the wax with the hair growth. So this is a gel wax that I use. If you use a strip wax, you can use a strip wax or hard wax, but just be careful not to touch the tint of the eyebrow while you're doing this process. So after removing the wax, we're going to want to remove the tint right away so it does not leave the eyebrows really dark. And you're going to want to use a lightly damped gauze just to remove the tint from the eyebrow. Not soak in wet gauze because then that will ruin all the work that you have done. You're going to want to use it 5% wet, 95% dry gauze. Because we used a light brown with this client and her eyebrows are really, really light, here's a trick that I use. I just add a little bit of tint onto my mascara wand and comb through her brows lightly just so that it defines them more. For clients that have a thicker and coarse brow, you're gonna not want to do this step because it will make their eyebrows look too dark. And here we're just cleaning up with a dry Q-tip, just cleaning up around the brows, following the natural brow shape with a dry Q-tip. So now I'm just adding eyebrow gel just to seal in that tint for the client. Here's something extra you're going to want to do for your clients just to define their eyebrows even more. You're going to want to get a concealer pencil and just follow the natural shape of their eyebrows. And then you're going to want to blend that in with a dry Q-tip so it looks seamless into their skin. Another great tip is to do the middle of the client's brows last. This helps define the finished look.